Hey there, welcome to my turbo tip for being unmessable with no matter what life throws at you. And I want to talk about something a mentor once said to me, or actually, he said it to a whole group of people, but I heard it. And he said, when you're a hammer, the whole world looks like a nail. And at first, I didn't quite grasp what he was saying, but the more I thought about it, it made complete sense. Because as I work with people, if they are fixated on being respected, then everything looks like either something people are saying that respects them or disrespects them. If they're fixated on being loved, like they think for some reason that they're not loved or not lovable, then they look at everything through the lens of love. Or if, let's say in business, you're about increasing your income, then everything is looked at through, is this going to make me more money? Is this not going to make me more money? So your world gets narrow. That would be a way of saying it. It's like you're a hammer and you're just going to do the same thing no matter what because everything looks like a nail. Although not everything is a nail, you miss opportunities to take actions that would actually fulfill on your vision beyond the hammerness of your vision. So, what do I mean by that? If you have something that seems to be recurring in your life, like for instance, you feel disrespected, perhaps respect is your hammer, where you are listening to people, gathering evidence for whether they respect you or not. Or if you are in a game called, I really want to find a romantic partner, then you're going to meet everybody and listen to them through, okay, well, oh no, they're married, forget it, let's forget about them. And then all of a sudden that door is shut to your relationship with that person. Even though it might not be a romantic relationship, you might miss out on potential opportunities, collaborations, ways of being a resource for each other because you are so fixated or myopically focused on whatever your hammerness is. So take a look in your life right now. Just kind of look and say, okay, where am I being a hammer? Where am I all about, this thing that everything is sort of being measured through or filtered through, whether it's respectful, whether it's loving, whether, it's going to make me money, whether it's going to free up my time. So I don't say yes to anything because I want to have free time. So you start to look at where the things are that are narrowing your focus. This is definitely an area where people experience being constrained. Now, I know that hammerness is not a word in the dictionary. I know, but neither was unmessable with a short time ago. So, what you're looking for is what is it that is shaping and coloring your view of everything. People might say, oh, I really like your dress. And if you feel that respect is your hammer, then you're going to listen to that like, well, you're not respecting me. You think I'm just a thing to look at and it's about my dress and not who I am or my intelligence or whatever. You skew the reality of what's actually happening based on the lens, based on your hammer. So the world looks different through that lens. So the opportunity of this conversation is to look in your life where you notice recurring themes and put the lens to the side so you can see if you can see something newly, because the lens is keeping you focused and myopically focused, narrowly being able to experience life. You're not experiencing the whole world of what's happening. You're experiencing the world through that particular lens. So it's worth acknowledging, finding it first of all, then acknowledging it. And the moment you acknowledge it as something that you've been looking at life through, something you've been listening to people through, something you've been experiencing life through, like a narrow tunnel, the moment you notice it and acknowledge it, it loosens its grip immediately. It loosens its grip because ultimately that view has been narrowed and you haven't been able to see things that you would be able to see if you expand and widen your lens, widen your view. So have the whole toolbox, not just a hammer, available to you to build your vision and fulfill on your dreams. So let me know as you start to engage with this whole idea of where is your hammerness? Where am I being a hammer? Where does the world look like a nail? It could be in the area of relationships. If you keep getting into the same kind of relationship, perhaps you are a hammer with regard to relationships. So just look and see, notice, and then email me and let me know what you discover around the lens that you're looking through, shaping what you see, how you experience it, how you feel, and the actions you take. You will produce different results with a new lens. So the opportunity in this conversation is to notice and name the lens, put it to the side, and see what opens up. Let me know what happens, and I'll see you on the next episode of Be Unmessable With, the podcast. Thank you again for tuning in to this week's episode of Be Unmessable With, the podcast. And I never take for granted that you spend time with me. And I always want to make sure that you get value when you do. So I am including in the show notes a link for you for our Basics of Being Unmessable With workbook. It's a 12-page workbook that gives you all the basics of developing yourself to be unmessable with no matter what life throws at you, to be able to shift from the world of reaction to creation on a dime. And it'll give you a whole practice that you can implement in your daily life over and over and over again. So click on the link below and grab that 12-page workbook and let me know what you discover as you engage with it. Have a great week.